As you can see there, we had a big cloud just come over. So both units did exactly the same thing. So that fault still happens on this unit here with the bigger capacitors. But what I've found is that the very small kind of glitches in the very small changes, this one does a far better job of not crashing, where this one will go. But I'll just record this for a while and fast forward it in editing and just see. There we go, perfect. So this one just crashed out and this one's still going. So those capacitors on the input, the larger capacitors on the input, makes quite a lot of difference in that cutting out. So yeah, if it's a really bad cloud over, or if there's a massive change, then both units will crash. However, if it's a small change, then this unit will keep going and this unit will crash out. Currently the temperature on the output it's getting warmer. It's probably sitting around 30 degrees, so not too bad. So as you can see, as the clouds come over, in fact there's a plane coming over which you could possibly hear, these move around quite a bit. What I've been finding though is that this unit here with the larger capacitors does start up slightly, or it takes a little bit longer to ramp up than its other unit, which is this one here. So I find that this one does take a little bit longer to kind of get up and going again if you turn it off. This one here is a little bit quicker. This is with both these units have the first three capacitors changed already, as we did before. The only difference between these two units now is this one here has got the larger 100 volt capacitors, where this one doesn't. So it's fingers crossed that this doesn't blow, or the capacitors don't blow while we're doing some testing. I've ordered a third unit which will go here. The third unit will be, what I'll do is as soon as I get it, I'll plug it in and connect it up, and that way we'll have a good comparison between a good unit straight out of the factory, a unit with just the three capacitors changed and leaving the 63 volt ones, and then this unit here with the three capacitors changed and a larger capacitor on the input. So that'll be quite good. The other thing I've also done is I've put these fuses here on each the inputs, and I've got fuses on the outputs. Right, so what I thought I'd do is I'll just quickly turn these off while they're sitting at 380 watts and the sun's out, and I'll just quickly go through the settings. So this solar panel here I've got set at 61 volts. Now this part here is actually more important than you think. The solar panel voltage really does matter. If you set this too low, then what I find is it'll continuously drop back down again, and then ramp back up, and then drop back down again. So this really needs to be set at the normal voltage of what the solar panels should be putting out with a not open circuit. So I've set this one at 61. This one's slightly higher because this one's got the two solar panels that are mismatched. So we've got a 30.5 volt and a 30.5 volt and a 30.4 volt, I think it is. But this number here seems to work best so far for this for the solar panels that are on here. I've set the voltage that it's putting out to be exactly the same, and the amps is just maxed out, well, almost maxed out, because it's never going to do 9 amps on the output. But either way, I've set that higher, and I've just set the timer for the display to turn off after 5 minutes. So I'll just change that, because while I'm videoing, having that always turn off is just a right pain. So I'll do the same for this one here. Oopsie daisy. Right, so if I turn both of these on at the same time, and we've still got some sun outside, yep, nice and bright, and we'll see how long it takes to start up. This one normally is a bit slower. As you also might have noticed, I've turned the microphone down because these units are damn loud, and I didn't think you'd appreciate having a whiny loud fan noise in the background so much. So they both take a good few seconds, and as you see, this one's kicked up to 140 much quicker. Not dramatically, but it is making a bit of a difference. Just as I say that, we had a cloud come over. Now I've also set the fans to about halfway, so you can adjust the fans, and yeah, for me I've set them for halfway, especially while it's at 5 amps on the output. It does start to get a bit warm, so as you see we're getting closer to 5 amps, which is nice. It's one of those days that it's nice and clear, and then there's a whole bunch of clouds, and it's nice and clear, and it's a whole bunch of clouds. Welcome back, YouTubers. Well, a few hours later, and we're fully charged, A-OK on each of these. So we've got 1.4 there and 1.1 there. Kilowatt hours. That's mainly because this one here wasn't set correctly last night, and it started up incorrectly with the wrong settings in it. But otherwise these numbers should be pretty close. So we've got some fully charged cells, and that means I'll give it another test tonight. Last night I took out 2.4 kilowatts as a bit of a test, and obviously it's charged back up again now, and it's still got, there's a few hours of sunlight left. So that's a bit of an update. Next part, yeah, as I said earlier, add the third controller at the top. That way we can do a comparison between all 3 different variations, and I'll also order some bigger capacitors for the other 2. So thanks for watching, guys.